about this.
It's crazy.
So Jonathan Majors is a friend of the channel at this point. We've talked about Jonathan Majors a few times on the channel. An exchange between him and his now wife, Meagan Good, and fans went viral on social media over the past week because there were some fans who they were interacting with, and the fans wanted to take pictures with them. And one of the fans wanted to take a picture with Meagan Good. And then in front of Jonathan Majors, the fan asked for Meagan Good's phone number. And, Meagan Good, checked the guy and was like, well, why would you ask me that? This is my man. And then Jonathan Majors, went Creed on the guy, trying to check him, telling him, to go Google something, being a tough guy, I guess. But I thought that this was a funny exchange, the way that this guy asked for Meagan Good's number right in front of Jonathan Majors, like assuming that they weren't together. I thought that was kind of weird. So this says Jonathan Majors calls out fan for boldly requesting Meagan Good's phone number. Recently, Jonathan Majors and Meagan Good stopped to take photos with a few fans. One of the fans, however, seemed to have unknowingly crossed the line. While getting an autograph from the actress, he asked for her number. This earned a response from Majors, as captured by the Art of Dialogue. Why don't you go Google something, bro? He responded, seeming annoyed that the fan didn't know they were together. Majors and Good tied the knot this March after dating for nearly 2 years. Reportedly, they did so at a private backyard ceremony at their home in Los Angeles. Majors confirmed the big news while promoting his film Magazine Dreams during an appearance on Sherry Shepherd's talk show. I'm not going to read any of that because I'm not reading that stuff. And it goes on to talk about this business venture that they have together. Honor Culture is a brand that aims to mix physical fitness and with mental health and community. It will reportedly feature wellness events, digital content, and fitness apparel. The couple launched the brand with a wellness experience at the Limitless Wellness House, hosted in partnership with Limitless X Holdings in Medellin, Colombia over the weekend. I think they misspelled. They forgot an L. It's not just a fitness and wellness brand. It isn't just an app, apparel, or community. It's an opportunity for transformation and invitation for the healing of mind and body. Honor your journey, honor culture, Good stated. Majors was convicted of assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, in December of 2023. As a result, he was ordered to 52 weeks of probation and a domestic violence intervention program. Good stood by his side throughout the trial, telling the Breakfast Club in January why she never felt overwhelmed. So here is a video of this exchange where this guy asked for Meagan Good's phone number.
Beautiful in person, just to let you know, yeah.
You say I'm gonna freak out after?
Can I get a picture too?
Sure.
Possibly like a number if that's fine.
Oh, thank you, love.
I said like a number.
Whose number?
Her
My number? No, it's my man.
Why don't you go Google something, bro?
Oh, I didn't know.
Actually.
Whose number? That was funny when he's like, whose number?
Oh, man.
Oh, your boy, man, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, right.
Shouts out to them for being gracious enough, I guess, to interact with the fans and take the pictures. But what did you think about that whole thing, man?
I mean, I feel like that was a reasonable shot attempt, bro. I don't blame, bro. You saw his face. Hey, what? Who are you talking to? Hey, Google me, pal. And it's like, come on, bro. And one thing that you're gonna find out, now he's got a point. One thing you're gonna find out when you Google him, he's definitely an aggressor. So he's definitely gonna aggress you. So you might want to back off, Jonathan Majors. But in all seriousness, folks, I might have pulled the same stunt. I might have honestly and reasonably pulled the same stunt there. You know, I had an unhealthy, crush type situation on her when I was in high school, man. I forgot what movie. I think it was it a Class Act or it was some kind of goofy teen movie where Marcus Houston, I think he was in it or whatever. house party type thing. But she was in there. I've never seen her up until that point. I didn't even know who she was. But I watched that movie so many times, not because I thought that was a good movie. I watched it just to see Meagan Good again. So, as she's gotten older, man, she's aged well, I would say. I guess she's into fitness. I guess she works out. All right. But yeah, man. I don't know how often bro is gonna ever, I'm pretty sure that's the first time, even being in the same city as that woman. So for him to be there in that moment and feel like, hey, bro, I'm willing to take this one. I think that's pretty reasonable, bro. I gotta be honest, because this to me feels like a Hollywood put on anyway. I'm not buying it. I felt like it was a publicity stunt to a career move for him to sweep something under the rug for his little situation. Hey, I moved on and I'm happy in a safe, committed situation. And for Meagan Good, who has a track record herself for being in the industry streets. So for her to say, hey, I'm finally married, y'all, I'm finally got a man, and for him
she's been married before. She got divorced.
Yeah, but she was also bouncing around.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that. I was just saying she's been married. Yeah, she's been married.
So this is a good look for her and all of that stuff. So all in all, I feel as though this isn't really real anyway. So that's the real reason why I said shoot your shot, pal. Because hey, man, why the hell not? But what are your thoughts, man, on Homeboy? Instead of trying to get that picture, he was trying to get that number right in front of Jonathan Majors of all places. What are your thoughts, bro?
I think the this, first of all, this was funny. Second of all, I find it hard to believe that the guy who asked for her number didn't know they were like. I find that hard to believe. Like, if you are enough of a fan of her to want to take a picture with her, and I'm just using basic logic here. There's no, first of all, I'm not a fan of any celebrity in particular, but if I were, I'm not going to be a fan of a celebrity to the point that I want to take a picture with them, but not have some familiarity with their background. I feel like it comes with the territory. Like, if you're a fan of somebody, you know something about their background. And I feel like if you want to take a picture with Meagan Good, you know who this dude is that she's with. I feel like it's not a stretch to imagine that you would be aware of who this guy is. And for you to ask for her number anyway in front of him, number one, is disrespectful towards him. But number two, and listen, I'm not defending Jonathan Majors. I'm not a Jonathan Majors defendant here. Okay. Or rather, I'm not a Jonathan Majors defender. I'm not a Jonathan Majors defender at all. However, what I am a defender of is code, specifically man code. I think men have largely forsaken man code in lieu of being slaves to vagina, and I think it's come at our detriment. And I feel like a lot of times it's the Drake model. It's the Drake example. One of the principal reasons why I despise Drake as a person is because of his admitted penchant for on purpose going after other men's women on purpose. It's one thing to know. It's one thing to like get with another guy's girl, but you didn't know that they were together because maybe it's not your business. So it's like a don't ask, don't tell type situation. You meet some chick, she don't tell you she got a man. You don't ask no questions. She out in the streets. And so y'all get busy. And so now you slid. You ain't know she had a man. You ain't asked no questions. That's not on you. That's on her and her dude to sort of, hash out what's going on between them. You're in it bystander in this whole equation because you had no knowledge. That's one situation. To me, it's another situation entirely to know this chick has a man. Furthermore, you know who her man is, and you still try to slide anyway. That is a steep violation of man code that more and more of us men have chosen to adopt because we just don't care. We don't really want to operate by a code. We'll just slide on anything, even if we're violating what used to be the code of men, which is you just don't knowingly step on, which is you just don't knowingly step to another man's woman.
Yeah, coveting their wife.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? There's there's all of these women out here, right? But you see, but you like it's just so many women out here in these streets, and you can't help yourself but feel compelled to on purpose go after another man's woman. Like that to me is weak beta energy, in my opinion. And a lot of us are out here doing that. And we wonder why women don't respect us and why women are getting the upper hand when it comes to modern sexual dynamics. Like if more of us stood on principle and if more of us stood on business when it comes to stuff like this, we wouldn't be having these ongoing, exhausting conversations about where the respect for men has gone in today's society, if you want to take it on a galaxy brain level.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like this guy knew Jonathan Majors was her man, and he chose to ask her that question anyway because he didn't give a damn. Because a lot of guys out here nowadays don't give a damn. And you know, you can say what you want about Jonathan Majors because he's his own unique person. I get it. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I'm not trying to defend Jonathan Majors. It's more so about defending the notion of man honoring the code. That's kind of how I feel about that. You know, it's just like because if Buddy will do that to, you know, let's just say he doesn't respect Jonathan Majors for whatever reason.
Okay.
Let's just say that. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant whether he respects Jonathan Majors or not. If he would do that in that instance, he'd do that to another guy whom he does respect because he just doesn't care enough to honor the code to just not do it, period. So, I mean, that's just kind of my stance on that one. Again, I'm not trying to make this more than what it is. For the most part, I thought that it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think a lot of stuff going on out here between men and women is crazy. We all are dealing with our own relative levels of insanity on both sides of the coin. I've talked about that often. And, you know, a lot of themes that I touch on often on this channel, talking about people holding themselves accountable for the choices that they make. I stand firm on that, but I also stand firm on, well, a lot of us are losing respect in society and are losing our place in society relative to what it used to be, because we will just slavishly devote ourselves to the pursuit of vagina at all costs, even if it means compromising or forsaking what used to be a perfectly reasonable code to live by. I kind of feel like we should get back to that if we want to be able to reacquire some of the respect that we claim to have lost.
Hey man, that's fair, bro. You know, that's fair. And because you know, when it does come to married people, yeah, you know, I agree with your stance on that. You know, while I was in the streets, man, and you know, I came across that. You know, when I was young, I didn't care. I say that. I almost say I didn't care. I cared, but I only cared as much as the woman cared. So if she really cared about her situation, then I wouldn't have did it. But if she was just in the streets herself.
But if she cared, she would not be in the streets though. So it's a moot point.
But that's what I'm saying. So she got her situation, but she's still out here. So my whole thing was like, well, if everybody else is getting on board, you know, I'm not going to be the one that's not going to take this for a spin either. You know, so that's where I was at, bro. So, but then it got to a point. Then I was like, hey, man, you know, there's too much going on out here to be living like that. So I built that code to go because after doing that, because I didn't feel right after doing that. So I built that code for myself to go, all right, man, if they have that going on, just leave it alone and, you know, go elsewhere type of deal. So I agree with you. So, but, you know, in my trollish take at the beginning, bro, it's just something. And I hear your point about it doesn't matter if you respect the guy or not, because, you know, at what point, you know, that's a dangerous game to play. At that point, you're just welcoming that in your own life because somebody doesn't respect you for whatever reason. So, you know, you don't want to open those doors. But my thing is that I really feel as though this is a put on ass relationship. I really feel as though Jonathan Majors lives an alternative lifestyle. I feel like he does his thing, and I feel like they're just doing this on some Hollywood stuff. Honestly, they're so Hollywood. I wouldn't be surprised if this was some weird publicity stunt to plug their company, because last week they was in a cycle for the company that they made, but nobody gave a damn. But this is going to go viral because this is black man, black woman, marriage, dynamics, and hey, it made it on a conscious approach. And all of a sudden, the article also has, hey, by the way, they got this fitness thing that they're building. So you never know with these Hollywood people, because they'll call TMZ to say, hey, I'm going to be at the airport. I'm going to be at LAX. My flight leaves at blah, 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 blah. And then TMZ comes pulling up and asking them questions or taking pictures. And here they go, hey, leave me alone. Hey, leave me. They literally do that. So when you're talking about the celebrity world, it's not very much to respect there, especially if they go on to parties and they start swinging and sharing anyway. So Megan, what's up, man? let me get my. So if this is a regular everyday situation, hey man, so be it, man. But to me, I think it was a good trolling job. I got a good laugh out of it. But in all seriousness, when it comes to principles and standing on things, yeah, man, leave a married woman alone. Personally, man, it's just, for me, it builds bad. I don't know, man. I don't want to claim myself to be superstitious or anything like that, but I think that's just setting a bad precedent. There's just so much free stuff out here. Don't go grabbing stuff that somebody else already has. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So overall, I do stay away from that premise. But hey, man, it's a good laugh. Good little internet laugh here, though.
Yeah. I mean, you raised a good point. These days, unfortunately, you don't know what's real and what's fake anymore, which further magnifies how fascinating it is, the sheer amount of people who buy into celebrity relationships, because you have a lot of people who do really celebrate them getting married.
Oh yeah,
and they're
this
really
is goals for some people.
Yeah, for real, exactly. They really are like, hitching their wagon to it as like a source of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? So people really, it's incredible to me how much people still to this day engage in celebrity hero worship. You know what I'm saying? Like 2025, and people are still out here worshiping these celebrities. It's the weirdest thing ever. So I hear your point on that, but I think that this is emblematic of what guys do nowadays. So even if you strip this away from Jonathan Majors and Meagan Good,
100%.
Dudes are just out here doing this.
100%.
And again, it's not that a chick has a man, but she's still out in the streets. We know that's going on. I'm not refuting that. What I'm talking about is, she has a man, and you just don't give a damn. And you're just going to pursue it anyway. And on top of that, a lot of times we be knowing who the dude is.
Hey man, it's a cold game, man. Here's my thing. So when I'm saying, when I was out there, bro. If I was talking to a girl and I know she has a man, let's say that, it's whatever. But she's always in my ear about what this and this and this and that, then I go, look, you still in the street. You still in the street. You talking about what y'all do in their house, what he ain't doing it. You still in the streets. So I didn't really care about that, because technically she was still in the streets to me. Then there was the women that had men and they were off the grid. I mean, I would see them every day, talk to them, high wave. They're off the grid. They're not taking any newcomers. And so I realized that, okay, this is a woman that has a situation and wants to keep that. Doesn't matter how hard she smiled at me that day or whatever, she, the next day she's stiff-faced because she realized she smiled too hard yesterday. But then there's the one over here that want to tell me everything that they got going on in their relationship. When they gonna link up over here with the girls and stuff like this, and they telling me all of this stuff, and it's like, you know what? I think I can take this for a spin here. I really don't. She don't respect their relationship, so it's a wild dynamic, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like when I was doing the street thing, man. Yeah, man, I didn't care. I didn't care like that for those marriages. I had a thing for. But even if they had a man, it was how they acted when they had one.
It's the behavior, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, whether their marriage is real or not, I don't even want to, whether it's real or not.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Meagan Good has not conducted herself in such a way that it would invite one to right in front of this dude be like, "Can I get your number?"
That's fair. That's fair.
She hasn't done anything like that yet. He did it anyway. So there's a certain level of I don't give a damn. There's a certain level of I don't give a damn that has sort of crept up into how we do a lot of this stuff.
That's
and
true.
I'm speaking specifically to guys, and and it dovetails into larger conversations around the sanctity of relationships and how much it's worth it, and men doing this. And I'm not trying to get into the weeds with that. I'm really not. But it's just to say it's one of our forms of insanity that we regularly indulge in. And look, like I said before, it's one of the reasons why I don't like Drake. I just don't like him as a guy. I think even if I did like Drake's music, which I don't, but even if I did, I would still find myself feeling some type of way about listening to his music, because I just don't think he's a good guy based on his truth that he puts forth in his music, and the way he on purpose knowingly just doesn't give a damn and just violates code routinely. Now, is that a reflection of the quality of women that he's pursuing? Perhaps, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But still, like, you're making a habit of going out of women who are already claimed. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the part of it that I just don't like. And I feel like a lot of us are doing it. And I feel like that comes along with a depreciation in terms of our perceived level of respect in the world, in my opinion. So, if you want to get some of that back, maybe accord yourself with a little more respect than that. And that's not to say put on a halo and just be the most super respectful man in the world and all courteous and whatnot, but just understand the line and respect the code. I don't see what's the big deal, especially when there's so many women in the world who are out in the streets and who don't require you to compromise any code whatsoever, because they ain't tied to nothing anyway. So there's nothing for you to lose. So,
and fair point. And I'll say this because fair points. But the point I was making about when I was in the streets and I knew who was taken, but there was two ways that they acted. And then you brought up how Meagan Good didn't give any inkling. And on top of that, when the guy asked, she was like, "Hey man, my man's right here. Like, what's up with you?" You know what I'm saying? Like, so she conducted herself the right way. And one thing about it is, when you make your selection, you have to be mindful of who belongs to the game and who's off the grid. And if this woman is off the grid, that means she bought into you. She bought into your system. That is what it is, because you can't stop sharks from smelling blood in the water. But if there's no blood in the water, the sharks ain't gonna come in that direction. So you have to understand who belongs to the game and who doesn't. And
I think in this era of shoot your shot at all costs, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. I think a lot of us are starting to go for things even if we don't smell the blood.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's fair. But I mean, it's going to be a swing and a miss.
It should be. Yeah, right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, it will be if she's off the grid.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if she belongs to the game, then who knows? So this is where guys have to be honest with themselves when they are making their selection. How did you get her? Did you get her while you was in the game? Does she still belong to the game? You got to ask yourself these things. And because this whole thing of, hey man, we got to maintain code. These they're savages in the world, bro. Nobody's going to keep any kind of code. There's no more codes out here.
And
the code is lawlessness.
And that's unfortunate. And that's what I'm
so if the code
that's what I'm espousing, is the lack of it.
So if the code is lawlessness, and that's the new game, is lawlessness. So if that's the game, if that's the new game, you have to make sure you have a chick that doesn't belong to that game. So, good luck, ladies and gentlemen. It is wild out here, and with hypersexualization, bruh, it's only gonna get wilder.
Yeah.
So, hey man, good luck.
Hey man, listen. You know, I'm not particularly a fan of Majors. So just listen, man. There's nothing like, fellas, just honor the code, man. You know, there's nothing wrong with honoring the code, bro. If she's for the streets, then she's for the streets, whatever. But just honor the code, man. Like, there's so many women out here. There really are. And they are available. Even there's so many women who claim to not be available.